Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 49th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to continue our discussion on views, and we're going to check out how we can insert data in views, or basically insert data in tables through views, right? And just as the insert statement is used to insert data in a table, it may be used to insert data in a view. So I'll just demonstrate how that works. And if you guys remember, in the last tutorial we created a view for the employee table in our test database, and I named the view emp underscore view, and it basically had three fields from the table: the ID field, the name field, and the email field. So to insert data in a view, to insert a row, I'll type in insert into, and then the name of the view, which is emp underscore view, and then on the next line I'll type in values, and within parentheses I'll type in three values for the three fields that the view holds, right? So I'll type in 1917 for the ID field, and this number has to be different from all the other ID values in the table, because ID field for that table, that field is the primary key for the table, so this value has to be different from the rest of the values. And then name in single quotes, so I'll just type in something like Craig would do, and then I'll put a comma, and then within single quotes again I'll type in a value for the email address, something like Craig 007 at gmail.com, right? Put in a semicolon, and when I execute the statement, I see that in the output section I get the message that the row was inserted successfully in the table. And I'll insert another row, because I basically the objective that I had before making this tutorial was to demonstrate to you guys that if there is a view if there is a row in a table that objects the condition that was used to create the view, then the row is not returned when you execute a select star on the view, right? So the condition that we had when we created the view was that the name value, if the value is null for the name field, then the row will not be returned, right? So I'll insert a statement into a row, into the view that values that basically has null value for the name field. So I'll type in 1918 here, and I'll put a comma, type in null for the name field, and just type in something random for the email field, like not available at gmail.com. Imagine there will be a lot of takers for that email address. When I execute that query, I see again that the row was inserted successfully, but then when I would run a select star on the view emp underscore view, I would see that I get the row with ID 1917, but I do not get the row with ID 1918. And if you guys are wondering what happened, then this row violates the condition of the view, right? Because the value for the name field is null here, so that's why this row won't be returned. But this row is definitely in the employee table, right? So the row was inserted in the table, but it just wasn't obtained in the result set as a part of this query, right? So if you guys want to see what happened to the employee table, then of course you can run the select star from employee query, and when I execute this, I see that two fresh rows have been inserted. So 1917 and 1918, both rows with the two IDs have been inserted, and the name value for the row with 1918 ID is null, and that's why this wasn't returned with the emp underscore view select star statement, right? So what we're going to do now is we are going to create another view, and it's going to be just a little different from the emp underscore view, but it's going to be a view on the same table. So this one is going to have the check option on, right? And I'll explain what that does or what difference that makes, but I'll first get in the basic stuff to create the view, create view, and then I'll call this one emp underscore view underscore new, and then the as keyword, and then select, and I'll still select the same column, so ID, name, and email, right? And then from, and then the name of the table, which is employee, and then where name is not null, the same condition, but I'll type in 3 more keywords here with check option. And what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that whenever we try to insert a row in this view with a null value for the name field, then we get an error and the row is not inserted in the table at all, right? So whereas in the last case the row was inserted in the table but it wasn't returned in the views results side, in this case we won't be able to insert the view at all, and the insert into statement will result into an error, right? So let's execute this first to create the view, and then let's try to run an insert into query and see what difference has been made. So emp underscore view underscore new, and then values, and then within parentheses type in 1919 as the ID value, and then null for name, and then the email address field I try something like try this at gmail.com. and when I execute this query, you see that in the output section I get an error message, and the message is check option failed test emp underscore view underscore new. So that's the significance of having the check option, and this tutorial is running a little long, so I'll discuss the rest of the stuff about views in the next tutorial maybe. And thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and you may subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.